Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to show you how we're going to delete a message. Inside the messages.js, I'm going to create a new function here, delete message. And we're going to use the socket for this, so we don't need to make it an async function. Inside this, we are going to receive the message ID. So inside this, we're going to emit First of all, we're going to check if socket.current socket.current.emit delete message, and we are going to pass in the user ID. So the logged in user's ID, and we're going to pass in the messages with. So the user with whom we have the messages, it is going to be open chat id.current. And after this, we are going to have the message ID. So the ES6 syntax and save. So now we're going to listen for this event on our server. So I'm going to minimize these. Socket.on delete message. We are sending in a user ID messages with, and the message ID, the message which you're going to delete. And we're going to call a function inside this. So let's create that inside our message actions. Const delete message, user ID, messages with, and message ID. Inside try catch, if there is any error, I'm just going to log the error. If you want, you can handle the error anyway. And now inside the try block, first of all, we're going to look for the user. So wait chat model.find one user with this user ID. And now we are going to look for the chat with this messages with ID. So const chat user dot chats dot find chat, and chat dot messages with dot toString is equals to messages with. Again, we are adding the toString. It is an object ID. So if no chat, and you can send in an error object, I'm going to leave it as is. So now we're going to find that message inside this chat. So const message to delete chat dot messages dot find message dot underscore id dot toString is equals to message id. So we are looking for that message object inside the chats array. If I go to the chat model again, it is really helpful if you keep the data inside data model in front of you. So first we look for the chat. We look for the chat inside this chats array. It would have returned this object right here. And now we are looking inside the messages of the chat. So we are looking for this object right here. And underscore id field is automatically added by MongoDB if we do not add it ourselves. So this will give us the message to delete. Again, we're going to check if not message to delete, just return. And after this, we're going to check if the logged in user is the sender of this message. So if message to delete dot sender dot toString not equals to user ID, so that means you are not the sender of this message which you're trying to delete. We are going to return. Again, you can handle these errors any way you want. I'm just returning from the function. So if you are the sender of this message, we are going to look for the index of this message to delete. So const index of chat dot messages dot map message and message dot underscore id dot toString, and we're going to look for an index. So index of, we're going to look for the index of message to delete dot underscore id dot toString. And after we have found the index, we are going to wait chat dot messages dot splice, look for the index of, and we have to delete the one number, and we are going to wait user dot save. So now I'm going to export this function, delete message, and let's import this inside a server. And also what I'm going to do is inside this message actions, after we have saved, I'm just going to return success to true, so that we have a value when we call this function. We know that the function was called successfully. So wait, delete message, user ID, messages with, and the message ID. And we are returning a success value from here. So const if success socket.emit message deleted. We're not going to send any data with this. So now I'm going to listen for this message deleted on a client. So inside this function, after it has been called, make sure you're not inside the brackets for this event, outside this event. So socket.current.on message deleted. Inside this, we're going to call the set messages function, previous, and we're going to filter the previous messages. So previous dot filter message dot underscore id not equals to message id, which we are receiving inside this parameter right here. So now let's pass this message inside the props for the message, and we don't need to pass this messages with and set messages here. And we're going to pass here delete message, and let's open this. Now let's remove these, we don't need to receive it here. Delete message, and on this icon where we have this trash and color red, on click, delete message, and we are passing in the message ID, so it is going to be message dot underscore id. We are mapping over the messages array, returning a message here, and we are passing it its ID inside this function. So now if I go back and refresh, so I'm going to delete the most recent message. If I click on this and click on this, you can see the message is deleted. First let us refresh, and you can see that message is not being shown here.